saying, you should not be saying these things to these guys. These guys are very talented. They work very hard, and they do not deserve to be hearing these things. My fear, and this is a continuing trend. We mentioned the Utah thing. Russell Westbrook seems to get something from fans at every arena, whether that's Westbrook's doing or not. He's had a few run-in with fans. The Utah one, the Denver one that we mentioned, he's had run-ins with Houston fans before he went there. Like there's precedent for this, and my fear is that there's going to be some sort of restrictions that the league is going to have to implement on fans going to games if this continues to happen. Luckily, we're not at that point now. I think we're far away from that point. But if fans continue to be inappropriate, the ones that sit courtside, like there's going to be some sort of consequences down the road. Again, this does have to happen 10, 15, 20 more times, and I hope it doesn't, more so for the players' sake. But this is a growing problem that could extend to far broader reaches, and that scares me as well as what sort of it implicates for the players. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that, if you agree with me or not.
Well, Raj, I think that's similar to, I'm sure you guys all see all those idiots out there on Twitter and Facebook going, yeah. This is a problem which can only be managed, not solved. This is always going to be a problem. The only solution, that's what happened in Baltimore when there were the riots, is to completely close their stadium and have no fans. But then there's no money, no games, and no fun. So this is a trade-off, as I said, Raj, and maybe they have to take more corrective action, but this is just a very unfortunate fact of life, and much as I hate to say it, this may be one of those times where at the end of the day we have to shrug our shoulders and say we just gotta make do with the best we can, even though too often in life we ain't got much to work with.
Thankfully, we're, I think, behind the days of the 90s where the players are fighting into the stands, and obviously the Malice at the Palace in Detroit with the Pacers. So in comparison, these are very lighter, by no means minimizing anybody saying racial epithets or anything that's just beyond anything you should say to any other human being. But like I said, it's thing that's going to have to be constantly managed as the game keeps growing, a lot of popularity. Like you said, Roger, there's going to be high emotion, high competition for both the fans, the players, everyone that's involved in these games. So you don't want to lose that. But at the same time, you have to use common sense and not resort to childish and just inappropriate behavior.
Yeah, I agree with what both of you guys are saying. I guess the best way to just sort of put it is just be better. When you're at the games, when you have this privilege and you're lucky enough to be there, watching the game live, be close enough to the players, and have this incredible experience. Don't waste it. Don't ruin it for the players. Don't ruin it for the rest of the fans. Just be respectful. These guys are working hard. Refs and players both. I'm also tired of people heckling refs. That's a different matter, but I do kind of want to mention that here as well a little bit. But if you're at the game, be respectful. They make announcements, multiple announcements before every single game. All three of us have been to live games. We know that they say, don't say inappropriate things, don't throw things on the court. Listen to that. Be respectful of it, and just be better moving forward. I don't want to see more stories like this season or in the seasons to come. That does bring us now to a close for this episode of Nuts and Bolts Association. Thanks again for joining us. Jeff, do you want to let people know where they can find you online before we get out of here?
You can find me on Twitter at Jeffrey Newhome. I retweet all the articles from my teammates, and please follow our main account too at Nuts and Bolts SP. All the great memes and stories you need, and most importantly, when the summer comes around, NBA is over, give me a follow. I got all the WNBA content you need.
You can check me out mainly on Instagram with my custom clothing line, Summers Inc. at Summers_INK. We do a lot of charity donations for a lot of different designs, including a new sports series. And in addition to with Jeff and Raj here on the NBA Nuts and Bolts Association podcast weekly.
Check out both these guys' work. They're incredible. They're doing hard work, and do support them. Follow Nuts and Bolts Sports, as Jeff said, and you can find me at Rodsaw94. Thanks again for joining us, and we will see you all next week.